Today we're going to talk about parts and accessories for your headset, specifically the Jabra Evolve 2 wireless headset. It also can be used on a corded headset, as well as accessory and replacement parts for BlueParrott products or Bluetooth headsets. So we're going to dive right in. We're going to have a close-up cam. So I'm going to show you, give you some pointers on how to take some of these things off, on a couple other things that are in my head that may help you as well as we talk about some of these replacement parts for these headsets that we're going to talk about. All right, so let's get to our most popular one. Let's jump into the B450, and I'm going to highlight this in the carousel. It's the B450 8-piece kit. This is one of our more popular kits. It's for the BlueParrott B450. Now, let's talk about the B450 because it comes in two different models. And Ori, let's go up to the close cam to show folks what we're talking about here. So the B450 is a Bluetooth headset made by BlueParrott. Now, if you could see a couple of things that'll let you know, because there's two versions of the BlueParrott in the B450 model, okay? And they do call it the B450. So crazy. They should have named it B450 number 2 or B451 or something like that. But all right, they named it both B450. So the older B450 that I've got in my hand actually says BlueParrott along the top, okay? And it may have this, what used to be VXI. VXI was a company that originally made the BlueParrott that then later got bought out by Jabra. And so on these headsets, the older style one, it'll say VXI. Now the VXI may have disappeared on the new one, and actually I'll know exactly. On the newer one, you'll see that it says just BlueParrott, no VXI, and it has a more of a gray look to it. It looks kind of like this, what I've got in my hand. I've got actually the 350, the new 350, but it's very similar to that. So I'm just going to hold these two up. This one here, old B450. This one, it's the newer style. The B350 is going to look like that. So just BlueParrott on the top, no VXI. And you can also tell because the button is square. This BlueParrott button is square. On the old one, the BlueParrott button is round. All right. So for those that have that older B450, which is still one of the most popular BlueParrott Bluetooth headsets on the market, let me show you how to easily replace these parts. So now you can see it has no cushions on it. Maybe yours fell off or the leather starts to wear down. Let's talk about this here. So in the box for our 8-piece cushion kit, you're going to get actually 2 leather and 2 foam ear pads. You're also going to get 4 of these windscreens that are moving around, but you get 4 of those. And so let's start with the leather. All right, the leather one, actually, you know what? Let's start backwards. Let's start with the foam because that's the one that's straightforward. Now, some people like to put the foam over the top of the leather. Not always recommended. It's just going to stretch that foam out more, but I've certainly heard from other customers that they like to wear it that way. You'll find that on the new B450 you may not be able to do that because the foam cushions are smaller. But as we're talking about this older B450, the foam just easily just goes right into here. Let's see if I can show that to you. You see I just pull on it a little bit. I'm going to spin it around and I'm going to tug, and then that's it. That's how that goes. That's the easiest one to talk about. Now let's go to the leather one. This one may be a little bit more snug. As you can see, the back of it has a smaller opening, but it's made that way. It's made on purpose so that it doesn't go anywhere. So what I like to do is just kind of sneak it in on the side. And if you're in a hurry, I would just recommend at this point to channel your inner Bob Ross. He's one of the guys that I like to channel when I'm doing this kind of stuff. Just kind of work your way out. And if you can't find an edge, just go ahead, take your time, pull on this thing. It's got a little lip here, so you can see I'm pulling and tugging on it, and that'll help stretch it around. Okay, turn it around. And you can see we've got this little bit that's not quite on there. Don't get frustrated by that. Okay, it won't rip. Unlike the foam, if you're very hard on the foam, it will rip. The leather ones. Thanks. Okay. There you go. And now see, we got it around. Now you've got a brand new memory foam with the leather. It's gonna help you out. You're gonna just feel much better with a new ear pad on there. It's just gonna stay on your head better, right? It's going to be more comfortable, and you're just gonna have overall a better user experience. It's gonna feel like new. Now, the last piece that we want to jump into with this B450 is this microphone. You do want to replace the foam. If you don't have it, you will want to replace this on a regular basis. Why? Let me see if I could show you why. You see this in here? This is the microphone where it picks up your voice. It also has some holes on the outside. All right, that's designed to try to maximize your voice. Now you see this white dot right here? This white dot, you always want that facing towards your face, because if it gets turned around, let's say this way, what happens is the active part of the microphone is now facing away from you, and it's not going to pick up your voice that way. So make sure that when you put this back on, or you're putting a new cushion on there, that white dot is facing you and not away from you. And the reason why we want to replace or add a microphone windscreen on here is that if you get debris in here, a lot of people will tell you, I can't hear you very well. And it doesn't happen overnight. This happens over the course of talking for hours and a few days at a time. And all of a sudden, one day, you start getting more and more complaints that people can't hear you. So you want to protect that. This thing is your investment. You probably spend $140, $150, depending if maybe there was a sale on it, maybe a little less. But either way, getting one of these kits, a $20 kit with all the different accessories, it will save you aggravation. So let's just take a look at that. So I'm gonna go ahead, put that on there. And now the cushions that we offer on Amazon may look a little different than the original ones, but we've researched this extensively, and ours tend to fit a little better. As you can see, it's got a little bit more foam around the microphone, and that's to protect the microphone. You know, if you're a heavy user, which a lot of users that use this BlueParrott are heavy users, this is a headset that's designed for somebody that's really talking all day long, or needs to go all day, or maybe a couple of days even of talking. Our cushions, our windscreens are designed for maximum usage. So that's why they're even a little thicker than the original ones that came with it. We want you to have something that lasts and that protects that microphone. That's all you need. It needs to cover those little pieces that we were just talking about. See right there? That's all it needs to cover. It doesn't have to come all the way down here or even past this little black junction here. We just want it to cover that microphone. And that's what it's designed for. And that's why it's a little bit more puffy, but it'll stretch and go right over there. And that's your B450. Again, this is the older B450. Now, some people have asked us if they could use these new pads with the new B450. I wouldn't recommend it. The shape of the speaker on the new B450 is not the same. Actually, the speaker on the B450, and as I remove this to show you something, it may have a similar shape, but on the new B450, it's going to be slightly bigger profile than this, and that's why these ear pads aren't the best for it. We do have a separate listing on Amazon for the new B450, and the reason for that, again, is for maximum fit. Maximum fit and comfort. These are designed for the older B450. Okay, I think I've talked about that. Beat that down to the horse. What I want to also point out, we're talking about ear pads. I'm sorry, cushions. These cushions that we've got, we also provide those in a 10-pack. Let me see if I can highlight that in the carousel. I can bring that in. Oh, I gotta log back in there. Oh, come on. You wish that sometimes things were just a little bit easier. Here we go. Let's move that over. Okay, so now on the carousel, we've got the 10-pack windscreens. This 10-pack wins, and I'm showing you two, but the 10-pack and the 2-pack are the exact same size. The only difference is 10-pack. Obviously, you're getting 10 more, or a total of 10. This windscreen is very popular. It's meant and designed to work on a multiple types of headsets: Plantronics, BlueParrott, Jabra, Sound. We have a whole list. And Ori, can you bring up that listing so we can point out a few things? All right. So the 10-pack windscreen, we call it a universal because it definitely works with a variety of headsets and headphones. And from time to time, we get folks that just send us some information, say, hey, I've been able to use this with a different headset that you don't have listed on there. These are the ones we've tested. So what you're seeing on this listing are several. We've even seen Teck headsets, which are pilot aviation style headsets. We've got a list of Plantronics and Jabra. Scroll down to the bottom. We've got Logitech that we've tested as well. Keep going down to the description, Ori. Let's show the folks a list. Here we go. Now in the bullet points, you'll see here several VXI, Jabra, Cyber Acoustic. There is a Microsoft computer USB headset, Movo, which is a lapel, and Electrosonics, and a few others. So we have the list. Now this is simply not the complete list because Amazon only gives us so much space to put in. Oh, look at that. Hey, there's a shot of me watching myself. Look at that on camera. Nice. That's so cool. We have a list. Yeah, there we go. Product description. So we've got here the actual models that we've tested. Several models, several different manufacturers. And if you are watching this and you're not sure, or you have a particular model that you want to use it with, it's not listed on here, drop us a line, send us an email. Just open your Amazon app, or send us a question right on the listing itself, and one of our folks will answer it. Sometimes I answer it myself. I like seeing what customers are saying. Ori, go to the top of the listing. Go all the way to the top. Keep going. So at the very top, if you're curious on how to send us questions, go right to where the reviews are, where it shows the reviews. Yeah, right here where it says answered question. You just keep going right past it. Right over where it has the reviews, the 600 and change reviews, right above the last bullet point. There you go. Keep going. A little more. Right there, where it says answered questions. If there's a question, somebody's probably asked it. We've got a good amount of questions in there. And if somebody hasn't answered this question, it will go to our staff. It will then, somebody will research it for you and give you an answer. So if the answer is not there, send it to us. We'd love to. We want you to put your question there because there'll be other customers that may have the exact same question that you have, and they'll see it right here. They'll be able to help themselves. So we love helping our Amazon customers and the entire Amazon community when it comes to getting answers they need, because it helps you make a much easier transaction, and you'll be that happier if you don't have to. Sometimes people don't want to talk to people, so help us out. Post your question, we answer it for you, and everybody will be the better for it, because I'm sure there's other folks that have the same question. All right, so the universal windscreen. Now let's go to what's next on our list. B350. So I'm going to highlight the B350 here on the carousel. Now the B350 also comes in two models. Here's the older one. It looks like this, and this is a cutout. And the reason why I've got a cutout, because we do research here at Global Tech, so we've been looking at a few things. So I have a cutout of it, of the old B350, so you can see what that looks like. And I'm going to grab the new one. Okay, so you can see these have two different profiles. I'm going to take this guy off so you can see what the new one looks like. Ooh, look at that. See, I tore this off. I've had this on here for a few months, and so this is why you would want to get another one. I myself, and I handle this all the time. Being a little impatient, just tore it right off. As you can see, the size of the speakers are very different. Oh, this is an old B350. This is the new B350, and this is why those cushions are designed in different sizes, because they're made to work on different ones. Let me just show you the difference as well. This is the profile for the leather on the old B350. Here's the profile of the new leather cushions. You can see this one here is oval. This one's got kind of like a trapezoid shape almost. It's not quite as oval as this one. And if you happen to have the old B350, we've got a listing for that as well. All right. I wanted to highlight the new B350, which is exactly as what you're seeing in the carousel right now. So let's talk about this new B350. Oh, but before what? You know what? Let me give you a little bonus. Hey, Ori, can we do a pro tip? Don't worry about it then. Okay, so we don't have the graphics for the pro tip. Let me give you a pro tip for all of those folks that love the BlueParrott and like BlueParrott or other Bluetooth headsets. You see this cutout? This is the Bluetooth antenna. And as you can see, this antenna is not very big. So if you wonder why you can't go 300 feet, 400 feet, look, this is all you've got. You don't have much of an antenna to work with. It goes right in there, right? So these antennas need really good line of sight with your mobile device. So if you, and we've done a couple of other videos on our YouTube channel about this. Let me just nudge this back over. On our YouTube channel, so if you've got direct line of sight from your mobile device to your Bluetooth BlueParrott, doesn't matter which Bluetooth headset you're wearing, it's going to be the same concept. Now, this one tends to get a little bit better coverage simply because this antenna, as you can see, there's several coils in here rather than just one thin one. And it tends to get a little bit better range than a lot of the other Bluetooth headsets. But my point here is, I just wanted to show you this antenna. There's not a lot there. So if this antenna can't see this phone because you've got a wall, you've got a car in front of you, you've got other obstacles or obstructions, even your computer screen even, you're going to get a much shorter range than you think you should be getting. But it's not got to do with the device itself. Bluetooth loves line of sight. If you don't have line of sight, you're going to get much shorter range, as well as the propensity for this device, this headset, to disconnect. It just won't connect very well because the signal is very weak. If you had a very, very strong signal, it would use up a lot of batteries here as well as here on your mobile device. You don't want that. Okay, so that's just a bonus up on Bluetooth. Lots of questions come through about Bluetooth connection and why it doesn't work or why you're having problems. The number one reason tends to be the line of sight. All right, so the new B350, what you've got here, again, the new B350 will say BlueParrott right on there. You've got a square BlueParrott button, and that's how you know you've got the new B350. So let's put in, and your earpad may look a little bit like mine. I've been using this, and look, I just ripped it, just now trying to take it off. And that's why when you get one of these new ones in the box, let me grab over here. And this is our new packaging material, by the way. You are getting a preview of it. I don't know when, if you're watching this during the playback, it's quite possible that you may see these. Right now, these are rolling out. These are our new packaging that are made of cornstarch, so they're compostable. You could throw them into the garbage, or if you compost yourself, your composter, this will biodegrade. We're pushing a lot. We have a big sustainability initiative at our company to try to find ways to purchase more sustainable products, as well as sustainable packaging. And this is one of our attempts at that. So if you like that, we'd love to hear your comments and your take on it. So if you're a composter, let us know how that goes in your compost bin. If it takes a few days or a few weeks to compost. But I'm going to just dump these out here so you could see what that looks like. Okay, so we've got all the cushions here. So in the box, you're going to get, or in the packaging, you get 2 of these ear pads. And you get 2 leathers. And you're going to get 4 windscreens. Yeah, We got a couple extra ones in there. Okay, so if you if you happen to get a couple extra ones, then great. You're doing well. You got some bonus ones in there. Maybe they threw in some extra ones from mine. Okay, so we've got that. Just put these to the side for right now. So the B350, as you can see, it's got stitching around the back of this cushion. Now look at this. See this? I've used this quite extensively, so I'm just going to take that one off. All right, so you can see how that looks like. We're going to start with the foam, because this, again, it's a little bit tricky than the old foam. The old B350 had a different profile. This is the old one on my right. This is the new one. See, it's round. All right, and it's actually thicker, right? It's a little more meaty than the other one. Now, you want to take your time with the B350 ear pad that's foam. Take your time, because as you saw, I ripped the other one. And why? Because I was in a hurry. I was just trying to get it done. So let me show you how I do it. Same approach here. You use your thumb to kind of pull, stretch. You know, take your time, be gentle, don't be in a hurry. That's how it'll rip. You know, as you can see, it's coming around the edge. Use my thumb again to pull, stretch it, and look at that. No ripping this time. And that's what you want. Nice, comfortable, right? Like brand new again. All right. So that's your new B350. Now let's take this off. This time I won't rip it. I'll take my time. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Let's go to the leather. Leather one. Now, on the leather, let me see, what do I got here? On the leather one, same concept. I'm going to put it over the top. Use my thumb. I kind of have a big thumb, so sometimes it's, there we go. And I incorporated my left hand, right? If you have big fingers like I do, sometimes it works to your advantage, sometimes it doesn't. So just keep spinning it around. I keep grabbing and pulling. Now the leather is a little more, it's more forgiving. So if you want to pull on it pretty hard, you can do that. The leather will stretch. The foam is less forgiving. So be kinder to the foam. The leather one could take a little more abuse. And there you go. Nice, new, comfortable fit. And now we'll tackle the air cushion. I'm sorry, the windscreen. Same concept here. Now on this newer B350, you could see the profile of this microphone looks a bit different. It's got a different shape to it even. It's also got some raised edges on the sides of the microphone, and that's so that the windscreen doesn't slip off like it does on the older one. See these raised edges here? That's on the new B350. Let me grab the old one so you can see what that, just to compare. Okay. This is the old one. This is the new one, the grayer looking one. Okay. And you will see also that it also has that indicator with the two white buttons. This tells you this is the part that faces you. This is the part that needs this inner part. If you don't have that facing you, you're going to have a world of problems with the microphone. So the concept here is the same. We're taking this, as you can see. We want to cover those vulnerable parts right here. And now don't worry about this here. These raised edges, they're not going to cut you. They look kind of like barbed, but you're going to be fine. They don't hurt. I mean, I'm touching it with my finger here, so they're meant to just hold that windscreen in place. So what I like to do, the technique I like to do, because this particular microphone is a little bigger. The head of the microphone is bigger than the other one. I use two fingers over the top, pull, and there you go. It starts sliding down, one at a time, one edge. Look at that. All right, now we have a nice covered microphone. Again, the idea here is that this is going to protect your investment. All right, there's this headset is no good if that microphone is clogged, and that's what happens. You talk all day long on these headsets. or talk quite a bit on them. If you don't have that windscreen, that microphone's going to get clogged and people won't hear you. So grab a handful of these, even grab a couple kits while you're at it. It's good to have a few spares around because you don't know when you're going to need it. Okay, so that's the B350. What else do we have left on our carousel here? I think we have the Jabra Evolve 65. Okay, so let's hop on over to that. I'll put that here. I want to put that here. And just give me a second so I can highlight that on our carousel. All right. And this particular headset is a newer headset by Jabra. Evolve2. So Ori, can you make that little correction? Jabra Evolve2? Because Jabra makes, again, Jabra owns BlueParrott. They haven't done the best in giving their models the right name. That's my opinion. But Evolve and Evolve2 are two totally separate models. You can't even use anything on here on the new one, on the old one, and vice versa. You can't use the old pieces with the old one. Now these come off very easily. Now this does not come with a windscreen. There aren't any windscreens because they've done a different design on the boom, so there's no need for a windscreen on here. And as you can see, this windscreen, you could put it on there, but it doesn't have that barb, so it just slides right off. It comes off very easily. Wouldn't recommend that. But these cushions will degrade over time. That's just the way it is. Even if they made this $1,000 headset, you will find that these ear pads will need to be replaced. The memory foam on it will wear out, and you want to get another one. So how do we take these off? Very easily. These come off. You can just use your thumb around the edges, and it'll pop right off. You can see that. It comes right off. We'll take the other one off. And on here, they've made it so easy. So this is R for right and L for left. So let's just replace that. We'll take this one off. I'm just going to pull, get underneath. Bam, comes off. Now, when you put the new pads on there, all right, you want to make sure that the L is on the L. And actually, they're both the same. They're designed the exact same way, believe that or not. They're exactly the same. All right, they just put L and R to make it easier for people. All right, so L, I'm just going to put it on the left side. And the easy way, if you're just looking at it like this, you kind of get how the L is vertical. It should just snap on now. Let's listen for that. Ooh, there we go. And do the same for the R, the right side. Line it up, and then boom, done, replaced. Okay, and you will see that, oh, look at that. See, it snapped off. Why? Because I was just going to say, there's a way to tell if it's completely on there. It should cover these little notches that you see here sticking out. Let me grab my pointer. These guys right here. Okay, let's do that one more time. Boom. That's how you know you're on there. You hear that snap? And now you don't see those little notches sticking out as I move it back and forth. We're all good. We're all set. Jabra Evolve2 is ready for action. Okay? All right, let's move on to the next one is the Jabra Evolve2 85. Let me tell you, if you love listening to music, now these are good for music too. We sell some of these. The Evolve2 85. See this still? I've got the old packaging here. This is what this guy looks like. These are some serious headphones for the serious audiophile. So if you've got the Evolve2 85, you know what? Wait a minute. I just forgot to say something here. The Evolve 265. You know what? I'll look it up. I don't want to confuse you. I'll look it up. Evolve2 85. Now, Evolve2 85 comes in another version which is the Elite 85. Now, we've been doing some testing here to see if you can use the same exact cushions on both. Guess what? They have a very similar design on the Jabra Elite 85 and the Evolve 85, but there's a really small difference inside in this mold from the Elite to the Evolve. They look identical in terms of its form factor and everything, but the moment you go in here and look at the mold, and we've done some tests as well, when you go from Elite to Evolve 85, there's some slight differences, and the Elite will only work with the Elite, and the Evolve will only work with the Evolve. Go figure. They should have made them both the same. Would have been easier for most people, but they did not. The Jabra did not, that is. So the way you remove these, let's say these are the damaged ones or the worn out ones, you reach in there with your fingers and just pull. And it comes right off. I'm gonna do the same here on the other one. Pull. Ooh, this one's on there pretty good. So I'm gonna reach to the other side, and I'm using my left hand too to grab the other side of the headphones, the speaker. All right, there we go. Now that released it. Now there is no L and R on the Evolve2 85, so it doesn't matter which side you put it on. And what you're going to do is just use the sandwich method. I just go here, and I'm waiting for that pop. Just go all the way around. Make sure that all the black that's there is also covered up. Otherwise, you're not going to get a good fit. There we go. All right. That one's on there. Let's go here with this one. Same thing, sandwich method. Boom. All right, and there's no black. And you're all set. And your Evolve 85 is good to go. And now you'll be back in the game, listening to your favorite tune. The Evolve2 85 also comes with a boom. So if you like that feature, but I love that. They did a good job here with this little fold away boom. What else do we have here? Ah, I see. We've got the Evolve 65 cushions. I thought I had one of those. You know what we didn't put in, Ori? Did we not put in Evolve 75? We did not put in Evolve 75. All right, Evolve 65. Okay. Let me grab. Whoa. Okay. Well, why don't we go to the listing? So I'm not seeing that Evolve 65. All the headsets they have, and then you don't have the Evolve 65. The earpads, so I could just talk about it. The Evolve 65 earpads are a little bit different. Those. I thought we had them here. Okay. Yeah, we forgot them. Evolve 65 are for the Evolve 65, the Jabra Evolve 65 earpads. So it's one of our more popular headphones that we sell. We've got the replacement parts for it, and will find that on the Evolve 65, the earpads actually will work on a variety of Evolve series. So the Evolve 65 pads that are featured on the carousel will work on the Evolve 40. They will work on Evolve 30 and Evolve 20. Don't know why they allowed this particular earpad to work across all of them, all of the entire series of the regular old Evolve side. So Evolve 40, Evolve 30, Evolve 65. They can all use the same earpads. Can't say the same with the new series, the Evolve 2. All right. A lot of people bought these Evolve series headsets during the pandemic, and many people now, almost 18 months, a year to 18 months now that folks have had these, it's time to start replacing. The comfort doesn't stay there, especially if you used it quite a bit, you're doing yourself a favor. And oh yeah, this one's the Evolve 75. And let's go over there. Click on the Evolve 75. Those I do have. Those I do have. They're right here. Right there. Evolve 75. So those bad boys, let's put that here. It's also a very popular headset. These are fairly easy to take off. The challenge is putting new ones on, and we're going to go through that. So these are twist style. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to show you. I'm going to twist it counterclockwise. I can do that. There we go. And it twists off. Okay. Now I'm going to grab another one and I'm going to put it in. Now this one's a little bit more tricky because what we're looking for is we're looking for some holes that are here. And we want those holes to face essentially to the bottom portion of the headset, of the headphones. So right around here, this part. Okay, so I'm get the holes pointing down, and I'm just kind of wiggling it in a little bit to find. Okay, so as you can see, it's laying on there flat, but it's not secured on there. I've got to turn it clockwise. You can see it's just popped off because I did not secure it. So I'm gonna go back again. Look for it. Okay, now when it's there flat, you know you've got it lined up. Now all we've got to do is turn it this way, clockwise, and I find that sometimes you've got to give it a little bit of a turn in case it doesn't see how this came off right away. I don't have it secured on there. So again, I'm going to give it another try. Give it a turn. There we go. I felt just a little bit of resistance as I started turning it, and it finally locked in place. It'll move. It's a very slight, a few millimeters is all you need. You don't need a lot to get it secured. So now it's not coming off, right? Because I've got it secured. And this one gave me a little bit of resistance. Sometimes I find that sometimes in the manufacturing, the ear pads themselves maybe just need a little bit more of a nudge to get them in place. And that's because they're brand new. The older ones, you've had them on for a while. This is the old one. Let me see. It just comes right off. Look at that. So the older ones have been there for a while. Maybe they've been jostling and moving around, and over months and months and months, they just kind of, the plastic wears out a little bit and boop, it just pops right off. And that's what that looks like. Okay, so Evolve 75, very popular headset. You want to replace those. There is no windscreen. Again, this is microphone's designed a little bit different than the BlueParrott. So windscreen isn't always necessary, but those ear pads, let me tell you, you want to feel comfortable again. You want to have that almost like that new car kind of sense. Go ahead, get yourself a pair of these. We also sell these in the 6-pack so that you have some extras in case maybe you have some coworkers as well that use them. You can grab a couple for the office. All right. One of the things that we do want to address, if you've seen all of the wireless Bluetooth headsets that we've had today, they're all Bluetooth. And as a bonus today, I'm going to let you in on something that we just released. We released a product called the Blue Beacon. And the Blue Beacon is meant to address problems on Bluetooth. I challenge you, go look at any Bluetooth headset right now or Bluetooth headphone on Amazon. And you'll find even the ones that have very good ratings, 4.5 star, 5 star even, you'll find some 1 star. And guess what the common denominator is? And we've done some research on this. The common denominator, the common complaint, the common reason why many of even the most expensive headsets that are Bluetooth headsets, just like this Evolve 75, it's not a cheap headset. It's a $300 Bluetooth headset. But guess what? It's vulnerable to the same issue that a $500 or even $600 headphone, or even a $20 headphone for that matter. And that is that the Bluetooth connection is fairly weak. And like I was saying, the common denominator among the 1-star complaints among all Bluetooth headsets is that maybe the connection, either something to do with connection, I can't get the range, which is connected to the connection. The connection drops, or I can't go more than a few feet and I lose the signal. All of those phrases come down to one thing. That's the connectivity, the connection from the Bluetooth headphone to the Bluetooth mobile, if you're using mobile, or the Bluetooth computer. Now, on the mobile, like I said earlier, the phone, the mobile device, needs line of sight. Without a line of sight, you're going to get a very weak signal. So my phone, again, if it doesn't have that line of sight, the signal gets really weak, because the Bluetooth is generally a weak signal, and it's going to be more prone to dropping. You're saying, well, what? Why can't that do? Again, the principle behind Bluetooth is to have a device that can connect to another device and the battery's not drain. If the power output were very high on the Bluetooth device, it would need more battery. The batteries would be bigger, heavier. You'd get a heavier device. It also drained. And that was the big problem, the big complaint early on, years ago, with Bluetooth devices. You had early on very, very few devices that were Bluetooth enabled devices. That when they came on the market, they found, oh my God, I can only get an hour of talk time or an hour of usage. Who's going to use that? Nobody. So they solved that. The fix is to lower the power, and there's a Bluetooth, I believe it's Bluetooth low power. It's a new thing. It's a newer standard in the Bluetooth, but essentially in general, the idea is to not let your battery on your phone drain down from a Bluetooth device. So what the sacrifice is that you're going to have a weaker signal generally. So we came up with a low-cost way to get around this problem, and that's by using an adapter called the Blue Beacon Range Extender. So if you are using this for your PC or Mac, you're going to be very pleased. You can't see it on here but it's on my monitor. I've used the 75. I've used the 85. Every headset that you saw today, I've used them all. Every single one has that problem. Now, I use a computer because I'm at my desk, so I have usually my Bluetooth device connected to the computer. And what I found was that I could get better range. Let me see. Do we have that highlighted on the carousel? Let's get that highlighted so you can see what I'm talking about. And Ori, do we have any videos to show on the yeah? Once you roll that video on the while I look for the carousel. Now, what we've got here, what you're looking at is the two versions it comes in: the C version and the A version. The A version is going to be your more common and more popular connectivity for your computer, and it's a very simple device. You plug it in on one side. We include a little sticky adhesive so that it can act as a virtual antenna, and that's what you want with this. The concept is to get you better connectivity on your device, so that when you are walking around, if you're at home and you're using your computer, you can have longer range. I found that I was able to go all the way to my front door. My office sits at the back of the house, and I was able to now go to the front of the house and actually go and see the UPS guy or the Amazon guy coming to deliver something. I'm able to go get the package without losing connectivity to my computer when I use this Blue Beacon device. I could not do that before on any of these devices, even though they purport to have long range, which is the most frustrating thing that you can have. You look at the box, and the box says 100 feet, and you can only go 20 feet. It's not that they're lying. It's not that they're misleading you. The problem is, again, if you've got a computer, you've got monitors, you've got a wall, and around me I've got plants. Those types of objects just get in the way of Bluetooth. It's not very strong, and it reduces the signal strength. You have a reduction of signal strength, you're going to get disconnected, just like with a cell phone. Now, a cell phone, if it doesn't get enough signal from the tower, you see you'll have one bar. And sometimes when you have one bar on your cell phone, your call will drop You may not even get calls. Some people may be calling you like, I can't reach you. Yeah, I got covered, but I only have one bar. So people understand that concept. This is the same idea with Bluetooth. We're giving you kind of a virtual antenna tower that you can use with your computer so that you can continue using, and it's not just for headphones. You could use this with a keyboard. You could use this with a mouse that's Bluetooth, as long as you have a dongle. Let me grab a dongle. As long as you have a dongle, you'll be able to use the Blue Beacon. And let's see. Oh, it's in the other box. Okay. Here we go. Bluetooth dongle. All right. Now, every one of the major manufacturers, oh, it's right on the screen. Thank you, Ori. So every one of the major manufacturers, Plantronics, Jabra, Logitech, even Bose, they have a new series of headphones that have Bluetooth dongles. If a manufacturer makes a Bluetooth dongle to use with your headphones, go and get it. It's the best way to clear up lots of problems on your computer when you're using the device. Now, you're probably asking me, why is that the case? I bought a $300 headphones like this Jabra Evolve 75. It should work with my MacBook. You know what? I have a MacBook. I have the latest one. And guess what? I still have the same problem. The issue with devices that use Bluetooth, the main issue is that the manufacturers, Mac, Lenovo, Samsung, even Apple, they all implement Bluetooth a little bit differently, but they all suffer from the same thing. Look at this. Look at this profile. Look at this. This is a very small antenna. And so if you have your laptop nearby, and you plug it in on the side, sometimes putting it on the side, the signal, it drops. Again, it's a weaker signal. So we've found a way around that. And that's by giving you kind of a virtual tower with this. So now you just stick, like you saw in the video, you stick this into the adapter, you put it on the side of your monitor or on the side of your PC, and you'll be good to go. You'll be surprised. Like I said, I can go over from my office where I'm at right now, and which is in the back of the house. I can go to the front of the house. Couldn't do that before. I couldn't even get to the kitchen, which is halfway between the front door and my office. I would get right around to the kitchen, and the signal would cut down. Now I can go all the way out to the front door and go grab a package when the UPS guy's around. Oh, I never got that on the carousel, did I? Let's do that. And if you're wondering who shot all this video, it's our producer. You don't see him in the back. His name is Ori. He's the one running all the graphics, helping me look like a wizard here. He shot this video. So if you like this video, send us a comment. Let us know. Yeah, that's great. Ori did a great job doing this video. So big props to Ori. Ori, I think we covered it all. Or did we miss anything today? Okay. Well, for those that have been watching us live today on Amazon, I also want to invite you to visit our Amazon store, where we have many other products. We have headsets, we have webcams, we have accessories, we have replacement parts, all to help you have the right headset or have the right device for your work environment or your home office. And if you have other questions, feel free to visit our website for questions. It's amazon.com/globaltechworldwide. Again, that's amazon.com/globaltechworldwide. And look us up on YouTube. We've got many videos on and tutorials on how to get the best use of your device, as well as other topics related to office life and office environment, and how that what's hot right now in terms of the gear that you need to be successful at work. So thank you for joining us today. We will see you next time on Tech 1-2.